Cassie and her husband give a joint statement regarding all of the testimony that was given during the first week of the Diddy trial. Let's see what they both had to say. Most of you, unless you've been hiding under a rock, have been keeping up with the trafficking case involving Diddy and a few co-conspirators, mainly Diddy.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Now, this first week, Cassie gave her testimony, okay? She was asked questions by the DA. She was also cross-examined by the defense. And a lot of things came out that, well, one thing we know for sure, that this freak-off situation wasn't, a big orgy with a bunch of people and, starring Diddy and Cassie or whatever. But it was merely her, Diddy, and one or two other male or female, but I think mostly male pros, if you will.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit. No, I like that.
And so the stuff that they engaged in was talked about by Cassie. It was explained in detail by her. And some people say she's a victim. Some say she's a volunteer. Some say she's both, depending on which way you fall morally and whatever. But some other people said that Cassie's husband might not have known about some of the things that she was doing with Diddy until it was revealed in this trial. Now, again, I don't know what they've talked about behind closed doors. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't know. But his facial expressions upon leaving the courtroom says either two things. Either A, he's very sympathetic about what's going on with his wife, or B, he heard some things that were very devastating and he has to process it and probably do it by himself or with his wife. In any case, her testimony has ended. They have another individual that they're got on the stand now. And Cassie and her husband, Alex, wrote a statement that was read by their legal team here. And I want you to hear it because Cassie's going to speak and also her husband's going to speak in defense of his husband. And I guess in this particular situation, they got to band together, but I got to say, I think their marriage might be on the clock while she's pregnant with their third child. Anyway, let's get into the testimony that this man's about to speak on. Of course, this is on Instagram, but it might be on YouTube as well. So before we get into it, gotta get my fair use clause. Before we get into the reaction, fair use.
This week has been extremely challenging, but also remarkably empowering and healing for me. I hope that my testimony has given strength and a voice to other survivors and can help others who have suffered to speak up and also heal from abuse and fear. For me, the more I heal, the more I can remember. And the more I can remember, the more I will never forget. I want to thank my family and my advocates for their unwavering support, and I'm grateful for all the kindness and encouragement that I have received. I'm glad to put this chapter of my life to rest. As I turn to focus on the conclusion of my pregnancy, I ask for privacy for me and for my growing family.
I don't know. She said that the more she remembers, the more she can speak on, right? Is that right?
Now, Nick, you're stupid.
I mean, again, the testimony that was given, the way she was cross-examined, the questions that Diddy's defense team asked, that paints her as more of a volunteer than a victim. I mean, they're trying to say that Diddy was moving these people around across state lines and paying them money and things like that, and that would insinuate trafficking and prostitution. But what the defense said is that actually Cassie was the one that was ordering these gentlemen or ladies. Well, actually, they just spoke about gentlemen. And that she was actually enjoying these things. That in the beginning, even though she was young, she did this because she wanted to please Diddy. And the more she did that, the more she actually liked herself and continued on with it. And after 11 years, she wanted to go on tour, and then she got the settlement money. And then all of a sudden, well, now the tour is over.
Nick, you're stupid.
So, I mean, again, that puts the light of, are you actually a victim or are you volunteer because you got the money and now you don't want to go on tour anymore because you were going to go sing. You were going to go sing because, because you were broke. And then you got the money and then all of a sudden I don't want to go on tour no more. So again, depending on which way you sway morally, you might think she's a victim or a volunteer. You can debate that down in the comment section. Let's get to the next part of the statement.
Past 5 days, the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife.
By the way, this is the husband's statement.
Freeing herself of her past. There has been speculation online surrounding how it must feel for me to sit there and listen to my wife's testimony. I have felt so many things sitting there. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. So, to him and all of those who helped him along the way, please know this: you did not. You did not break her spirit nor her smile that lights up every room. You did not break the souls of a mother who gives the best hugs and plays the silliest games with our little girls. You did not break the woman who has made me a better man. I did not save Cassie, as some have said. To say that is an...
If you've made it this far in the video and you're still here, thank you again for your viewership. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, that way you can be notified whenever I go live or drop new content. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, please do so by hitting the Cash App $sign Mr. Normie. And you can also go to my Ko-Fi page, ko-fi.com/workingmanmg. Also, I'm trying to build a community on Locals. So if you would, go please check out my Locals page and you can join for just $5 a month. You can post and we can build a community of like-minded working men over there. Thank you for your time. Now back to the video. Okay. Now, again, he has to say these things because that's his wife. But I wonder how he feels or what he's saying to Cassie behind closed doors when they're at home and the children are being put to bed or they're asleep. What is he saying to her then? Because, of course, Diddy didn't break her spirit. She gives the best hugs and all that jazz, which sounds really great. But the fact of the matter is that Coach Greg Adams talks about the spectrum, right? She's young. She's starting out. She sees this guy that's rich. So there's that part because she's what, 19, 21 years old, something like that. So she knows the guy has money and he has riches and can bring her a better life and make her comfortable. She knows that much at that age, right? So she goes into it not counting the cost, which most people at that age don't. But that's not a ignorance isn't an excuse, right? So you go into it, and then you're this humongous 304 for Diddy for 11 years, by the way. And then you meet this guy. Oh, matter of fact, while you're with Diddy, you're with other guys in the mix too, not just in the free golfs, but you're also allegedly cheating on Diddy with other guys, an NFL player, allegedly maybe Chris Brown, Michael B. Jordan, and a host of other guys. And then you find this guy was your personal trainer. You end up marrying him, but then somehow they said you went back to Diddy for a second, and then you came back. So you cheated on your husband, and then you gave him children, but you cheated on him with Diddy and some other guys. And then you're this victim housewife. I mean, again, as Coach says, the spectrum is real. And again, the question remains to the viewer, you out there listening, is she a victim or a volunteer? Let's get to the last part of the statement.
I did not save Cassie, as some have said. To say that is an insult to the years of painful work my wife has done to save herself. Cassie saved Cassie. She alone broke free from abuse, coercion, violence, and threats. She did the work of fighting the demons that only a demon himself could have done to her. All I have done is love her as she has loved me. Her life is now surrounded by love, laughter, and our family. This horrific chapter is forever put behind us, and we will not be making additional statements. We appreciate all of the love and support we have received, and we ask that you respect our privacy as we welcome our son into a world that is now safer because of his mom.
Okay, well, I mean, there you have it. The statements were made. Cassie's husband, Alex, has, of course, taken her side, again, as he should in this situation. For the moment, anyway, he is defending his wife. And Cassie, well, she said what she had to say, that she's trying to put this behind her and focus on her upcoming newborn baby and all those great, wonderful things. However, the case is ongoing, and the questions surrounding Cassie her testimony has actually raised more questions than answers for her particular role in this. And as far as Diddy, well, it seems like we know what kind of guy he is already. So y'all let me know what y'all think about down in the comment section. They made a statement, and they said this will be their only statement they make about this case. And with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of the Working Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about these statements from Cassie and her husband, Alex, regarding their testimony in the case in general. Down in the comment section, and please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and we're out of the door. Remember, everyone, reality checks are free. See you next time.